Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Talk Lab podcast. Today, we're going to dedicate the entire episode to something every English learner struggles with, but almost nobody talks about in a complete way. The real mistakes that block your fluency. Not just grammar mistakes, not just vocabulary mistakes, not just pronunciation mistakes, but the deeper patterns that keep repeating, sometimes for years. Today, we want to break those patterns permanently. I'm here with Angelina, who has worked with thousands of learners and knows exactly where most people get stuck. Angelina, are you ready to go deep into this topic?
Absolutely, Jack. I'm excited because this is the kind of episode that can truly transform someone's English. There are episodes where we inspire people, episodes where we motivate them, episodes where we give them a few useful expressions, but this one is different. Today, we're breaking habits, we're rewriting patterns, and we're creating clarity. If someone listens closely, and I mean really listens, not passively, they can walk away from this episode speaking clearer, thinking faster, and communicating more confidently.
Many people message the podcast saying, I know a lot of words, I know grammar rules, I know phrases, but when I speak, mistakes still come out. And that's exactly why today's episode matters. Because mistakes don't come from ignorance. They come from old habits, automatic thinking, and the influence of your native language.
Exactly. Learners often believe they need more grammar books or more vocabulary lists, but in reality, they need better awareness. They need to understand the source of the mistake, not just the correction. When you know why you make a mistake, it becomes 100 times easier to eliminate it. But if you only memorize the correct version without understanding the pattern behind it, the mistake comes back again and again. And that's why people get frustrated, because they feel like they're trying, but not improving.
So today we'll speak long, detailed, and naturally, just like a real conversation, but focusing on the mistakes we see everywhere.
Yes, and the first mistake is something nearly every learner makes, translating in their head. And I want everyone listening to really be honest with themselves. Do you ever try to think of a sentence in your own language and then convert it into English? Because if the answer is yes, then that right there is the root of most of your problems.
Even advanced learners do this without realizing it.
Exactly. They translate structures. If your native language puts adjectives after nouns, your English sentences automatically follow that order. If your language repeats words for emphasis, you repeat words in English too. If your language uses one verb form for multiple situations, you use that same form in English, and this creates sentences that might be understandable but not natural, and sometimes completely incorrect.
I've seen learners make the same mistake for 5 or even 10 years, simply because they keep translating instead of forming sentences directly in English.
Yes, and the problem is that they don't even realize they are translating. They assume, this sentence sounds correct because it makes sense in my language, not understanding that English is built completely differently. The structure, rhythm, emphasis, tone, everything is different. And when you force English into your native language shape, it breaks. So the solution is not more grammar, but more awareness, more listening, more shadowing, more intuition building.
And intuition only forms when you hear enough correct English patterns and let them repeat naturally.
Exactly. And this leads us to pronunciation mistakes. These happen not because learners are lazy or not talented, but because their mouth, tongue, and breathing habits are shaped by their native language. If someone speaks a language where sounds are short and sharp, their English becomes short and sharp. If their native language has rolling rhythms, their English becomes rolling. If their language doesn't have a th sound, everything becomes S or Z. And pronunciation mistakes then create misunderstandings, embarrassment, and fear.
I remember a learner who meant to say beach, like a place with sand and water, but said,
Yes, the other word. And when these things happen a few times, learners become afraid to speak. But the good news is that pronunciation is 100% fixable with consistent exposure and repetition. The trick is to slow down first. You cannot pronounce something correctly at full speed if you cannot pronounce it slowly.
Exactly. People try to speak fast because they think fluency equals speed. But fluency actually means clarity, confidence, flow. Speed comes naturally after clarity, not before.
And many mistakes come from rushing. For example, verb endings disappear, articles vanish, prepositions get swapped, and suddenly your sentence changes meaning. People say, he go, because their brain is trying to form a complete thought quickly and doesn't have time to attach the ending. That doesn't mean they don't know grammar. It means they are thinking faster than they can speak, and the mouth cannot catch up.
Which is why shadowing is one of the best techniques ever.
Yes. When you shadow, you copy not only words, but rhythm, speed, breathing, pauses, emphasis, intonation. You train the flow of English, not just the vocabulary. And when the flow becomes natural, mistakes reduce automatically.
Another mistake we see a lot is vocabulary misuse. Words that technically exist but don't fit the situation.
Yes, like overusing very, very good, very nice, very big, very small, very tired, very cold. These are not wrong, but they sound basic. And when your English sounds basic, your confidence drops. But when you replace them with stronger, more natural alternatives, huge, tiny, exhausted, freezing, delicious, awful, suddenly your English feels alive, rich, expressive.
And people react differently to you. You sound more professional, more educated, more fluent.
Exactly. And then we have mistakes in conversations. Social mistakes. For example, saying, repeat, please, instead of, could you repeat that, please? Or saying, I don't understand you, instead of, I didn't catch that. These small things change how polite or natural you sound.
I've seen learners lose opportunities simply because their English sounded rude, even though they were not rude at all.
Absolutely. Tone matters. Politeness matters. Softening phrases matters. Even the difference between what and sorry can change how someone perceives you.
Let's talk about another big mistake. Fear of speaking, fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding silly.
Yes, this is huge. Fear paralyzes people. It makes them silent. It pushes them into passive learning, reading, listening, watching, without speaking. But language is a physical skill. If you don't speak, you don't improve. If you wait for the perfect moment to use English, that moment never arrives. People think, when I know more, I will speak. But the truth is, when you speak more, you will know more.
And that's the mindset shift that separates learners from fluent speakers.
Exactly. And to fix mistakes permanently, you need a method, not chaos, not random studying, a clear method. One of the best methods I recommend is keeping a mistake journal. Every time you make a mistake, grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, expression, write it down and then write the corrected version. Review your mistake journal every day for 5 minutes. That's it, just 5 minutes.
And one mistake per day adds up to 30 per month, 365 per year. That's fluency.
Exactly. Improvement is not magic. It's repetition, awareness, correction, patience and confidence.
And now, as we're reaching the closing part of this long, deep, continuous episode, what final advice would you give to someone who wants to stop making mistakes forever?
I would tell them this: mistakes do not define your English. Your attitude toward mistakes does. If you see mistakes as proof of failure, you will always be afraid. But if you see mistakes as stepping stones, as guides, as teachers, then every mistake becomes progress. Speak more, worry less, listen more, think less, practice more, hesitate less. English rewards bold learners. Confidence comes before accuracy, not after it. And with consistent effort, your mistakes will slowly fade, your confidence will grow, and one day you will realize that English is no longer a foreign language. It has become a part of you.
What a perfect way to end. Thank you, Angelina, and thank you to everyone listening to the Talk Lab podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, share it, like it, and join us again next time. You're improving every day, and we're proud of you.
Until next time, stay confident, stay curious, and speak boldly. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.